Hello, everybody. We have missed you so much. Welcome back to the podcast.
Hello. It feels like it's been so long.
It has been a very long time. And actually, now that I'm just thinking about this Chardonnay that Wally got me yesterday that you said looks like a Hufflepuff wine.
It did.
Also, if you guys don't know, I'm a Hufflepuff, which is really stupid. It is so good. Like, I've never seen it at the liquor store, but like I'm for sure gonna go back and get us a bottle because you have to try it. It kind of tastes like it would be a Pinot Grigio, but then you
Yum.
get like a little bit at the end where you're suddenly like, oh no, it's Chardonnay. It's so weird, but
Yeah,
so
I
good.
definitely want to try it. It definitely looks like that little badger that's Hufflepuff, like
I
their
hate that it's a
mascot.
badger.
Well, it definitely looked like a Hufflepuff wine, and when you posted that, I was like, holy shit, she's really embracing her Hufflepuff roots.
No, I am not. Still upset.
All right. Well, we have a lot to talk about today. A lot to
Yeah,
catch you guys up on, actually.
Aaron Carter's dead.
Gone forever. Dead.
Dead, gone, forever.
It's very sad, actually. I actually, like,
Have
I'm
we found
having
out
a
what
little bit
happened?
of a hard time about it.
Do we know what happened? Like, has it been established that he like killed himself or something?
Well, there's a big conspiracy theory floating around. His last tweet the day before he died was to Kanye West, wanting to talk to Kanye. So there's a big conspiracy theory,
That
but
Kanye killed him?
well, that like Illuminati did, because apparently a sign to get into the Illuminati is dying, like killing somebody in a bathtub. Like a bathtub is a big sign. And there's apparently like Lady Gaga music videos and like a bunch of other music videos that have them like doing stuff in bathtubs. It's like a thing for the Illuminati. So, I mean, who knows? But cops did find like a bunch of air can duster things in his house. He had like an addiction to huffing those, which is,
That's so 2000s.
I know. When I read that and I like text Tony it, I was like, people did that shit in high school. I never did, but people did that shit in high school. Like, I didn't know it was still a thing to huff the dusters, but apparently that could be a reason.
That's just silly.
I feel really bad for him. And like, I used to think I was going to marry Aaron Carter. He was my first concert. Like, I loved him. And the more like I'm reading about his life, it's really sad. Like, his parents took all of his money and made him go broke. Like,
Okay, but also he has a twin sister that I didn't know about.
yeah. It's, I don't know, man. It's weird. It's sad. Children in Hollywood really fucks you up. It's really sad.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's really sad and crazy. I do feel like he's been struggling for a long time. I'm honestly surprised it's just now happening. So like I just hope he's getting the piece that I don't know what it means to join the Illuminati. Like if you die, you're dead. So how do you join the Illuminati if you just kill
No,
people?
like somebody else to join the Illuminati, they have to kill somebody to join. Like, that's like their initiation
So
is.
he was like, yo, yay, like I want to die, send someone over that needs to be initiated and they can kill me.
Nobody knows what he wanted to talk to Kanye about, but his last tweet was the day before he died, and it said, yo, Kanye, let's meet up and talk like real men. So who knows?
That's so weird.
But I
Well,
did see the Backstreet Boys did like a tribute to him, and Nick Carter was bawling, and it was so heartbreaking. I literally could not even imagine losing one of my sisters. Like, even though they had like their problems, I just can't imagine that heartbreak that he's feeling. It just,
I
ugh,
know.
kills
It's so
me.
crazy. That
Yeah.
is really sad. Another pop culture shit, Zac Efron's face. I still want to talk about this. I've had it on my notes for a very long time. And like sometimes I'm wondering, are those pictures real and current? Because like I see him in other things and I'm not seeing that look. And so I'm really confused. Like, is his face actually that fucked up, or are those just weird pictures on the internet?
I don't know. And if he did do all this
I'm gonna
plastic
Google it right
surgery
now.
on his face, why? He was such an attractive, handsome man. Why did he feel the need to do like fillers in his cheeks and all the weird shit? Like Botox, okay, I can understand, but like all that other stuff, like it's sad. It's sad. And then blame it on like falling. Doesn't make sense to me. And I really hope he truly doesn't look like that because I love Zac Efron.
Well, he's in a new movie that's like a wrestling movie, and it's like back like an old school movie, and he looks so silly, but like also definitely gonna watch it.
Of course.
Um, but like I don't know, I'm looking at pictures right now and like even think about like that Netflix show that he does.
Not
It's
like
like
down
such a
to
good
earth or
one.
whatever.
Yeah, his face was fine in that. So it's like, I don't know. I guess I'll have to see when one of the latest things come out because I can't, I've been searching on the internet. I cannot tell. But the ones that I do see where I like see people post his face, I'm like, fuck man, is that what he looks like? Because he's such an attractive man,
Yeah,
even though he's very short, which is so sad for me.
I
But
will just let that slide.
he's just so great. And I really hope his face didn't get like that.
Oh, me
I'm
too.
gonna make sure we post a picture of his face like that, and we're gonna ask you guys if you think it's real or fake.
Yeah. This next thing about pop culture, we're gonna save until my check-in because I'm gonna tie it into our topic.
Okay. Well, I want to talk about the Kardashians because I just started their new season. Season number 2 is out on Hulu. I'm very behind on it. I
I'm
started
actually
binge
really
watching
behind
it.
too.
Like I turned it on at lunch and I like literally just worked from my couch at that point because I was like, I need to watch more of this. But A, I've been following Courtney and Chloe heavily on Instagram, but then watching the season yesterday, I was like, okay, I love that I've been following them because I feel like I know what's going on. But Courtney's killing it. Like Courtney is straight up thriving and like has all of these businesses suddenly. Remember on the Kardashians when she was like, I don't fucking want to do anything. She was
Mm-hmm.
like, I only care about being a mom. And like she was doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I feel like she wasn't doing anything for herself.
I think it was mainly because of Scott too. Like
Oh,
thinking
he's
back,
not even on it right now. I haven't seen him
yeah.
in like 4 episodes.
I
He's
like
on?
thinking back about how he treated her is so sad.
Yeah. I think she was in a weird place. She did talk about on like this last one about like her body and how she's like gotten plumper with all of her like stuff trying to have a baby with Travis. And she was like saying how much she loves like her fuller body and
Mm-hmm.
like talking about her weight. And she's like, anytime I'm skinny, you know I'm not doing okay. She was like, I was 95 pounds for a while there. Now she's
Wow.
115, which like still so freaking small,
Yeah.
but she was just like, I like that I have an ass. I like that I have a body now. And I was like, I love that she feels this way. And like
Mhm.
Travis is what's made her feel totally
And
comfortable with it
Travis
too.
loves her so much. I know people talk shit about their PDA, which sometimes it is a little excessive, but I think it's sweet. Their love is so sweet to me.
I mean, it's a lot. I mean, I'm happy for them. I'm happy that she finally has that. I wish that he wasn't so tender. He's like so delicate and soft and talky, weird, and like that's just so pervy and weird to me. It's like men with longer fingernails, like you're disgusting. That's how I feel. But also his foot fetish is really weird too.
Yeah, I can. MGK has a foot fetish too, and I cannot get behind that. I mean, if our listeners have one, do whatever floats your boat. I
I
don't
have
want to see.
questions.
Yeah, I do not
Tell
want to
me.
see at
Tell me if you have one. But she does have her gummies out now. I almost just bought them actually today. They're on Amazon. So I was like, well, shit, now I'm definitely gonna end up buying them. So they're in my save for later.
all.
I
Mm-hmm.
want to try the like let me focus ones and the let me chill ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to try that. And then she has her and Travis have like Barker Wellness or something. And it's like bath salts and like body butter and those things. And they're all
I
really
didn't know about that.
affordable. And I'm like, I want to try that. Like her body butter is $35. And I'm like, I will buy that and try it at some point. Cause like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, she just is down for like pure ingredients and like what's good
Mm-hmm.
for your body. And I support that. But also like I can afford $35.
Yeah, I'm actually probably going to order the vitamins after we record this because I've really been wanting to try them. I think I'm just going to bite the bullet and try them.
I just like that the things she's putting out are like for everyone, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
even like there's so many things that they all have, but like they're kind of pricey. Like I want a pair of good American jeans, but they're a bit
So
pricey and
bad.
I just like
Yeah.
can't do it. I will at some point, but like I get kind of like overwhelmed by all the options and then the price, and then I'm like, okay, I can't do it. So it's like I like that hers are simple, easy, I can just do it and it works
Mm-hmm.
for anyone.
I will say though, Skims, is worth every damn penny.
I
I
actually should
will
order those
never
too.
wear another pair of underwear that is not Skims ever. They are so comfortable. They stay in place on your vagina. Like you don't get that weird like wedgie vagina situation that
The
you get with
front wedgie is
Victoria's.
the
Yeah.
worst.
Yeah. Like I got those with Victoria's Secret underwear all the time. Like they stay in place. They don't show any lines. Like
Okay, but
truly
there's so many
Skims.
options. Like, how do you know which ones to pick? I'm looking at the panty site right now, and I'm like, I don't know. There's so many.
I just get the regular old thongs, not
The
the
fits
micro
every
thong.
body thong.
Yeah, every body thong. And they are truly amazing. Highly recommend.
I'm gonna go with the fit everybody micro thong.
That micro thong is so tiny.
Dude, it's
I feel
literally
like,
like the size of my nose.
yeah, it's so small. I just saw on Instagram before we started recording that Nick Cannon is apparently expecting another child. He just announced his 11th child last week, and now he just announced his 12th child. Like, what is this guy doing? And how does he have all this money to afford these kids? Like, is he doing anything right now? He used to be the host of that like talent show, but I don't think he's doing it
I
anymore.
think he still is Wild and Out. I just watched on Jersey Shore. There's like a Wild and Out cafe. You can go eat there and then watch the show. And Jersey
Wild
Shore
and
was
Out
just
that
on it.
came out like 15 years ago?
Yeah, where they like do jokes. Yeah, that's still happening.
I thought it was like rap battles.
I think it's jokes.
Oh,
I
I
don't
don't even
fucking know.
know. He cannot make enough money to freaking pay child support on 12 kids. That is, and two of his kids are with Mariah Carey. You know, she's
Well,
not like, just give me the bare minimum. Like, she's bougie.
she probably has to pay his ass.
Probably, honestly. I just, I think it's insane. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
We just posted some polls today, yesterday. We did the results for the Christmas stuff. You guys should buy your ladies Skims thongs.
For real. For real. Highly recommend them.
No one wants to buy underwear. It's like, well, actually, there's probably people out there. I hate buying underwear. I know I need to and I want to, but it's like one of those things where it's like, I don't want to spend money on underwear.
Yeah.
I think there's people out there that actually really like to buy underwear.
I don't mind it. Like, I don't love it, but I don't hate it. It's like, I just want to be comfortable under there, you know?
I know. And like, I feel like it's gotten worse. Like the ones I've been buying lately, I'm like, these aren't good underwear anymore.
Yeah. I
Maybe I've just
also,
gotten like too mature for those underwear.
maybe. I also do have a Skims bodysuit that Tony got me for my birthday. I also highly recommend their bodysuits too. I want to get like the slimming one that like you wear under dresses and stuff.
I
But
want to get, she has like a dress that everyone like raves about that I want to get.
yeah.
I also forgot to mention Chloe. I just saw the like Chloe. I saw the part where she finds or she's like talking about how she's having this baby with Tristan and like, damn man, this girl's been through a lot and like I just feel for her. I feel like I've always loved Chloe the most. I feel like I relate to her the most. And I always just been like, I'm the Chloe. I don't think I actually am. I think I'm more Kim. Actually, I'm Kris Jenner. Let's start there.
Yeah.
But
You are.
Chloe's just like, I don't know. I really love her and it's so sad. The new season's so good and I just
I
feel
need to
so bad
watch
for
it.
her. You
I'm
need to.
gonna watch it. I loved the first season that was on
Me
Hulu,
too. It
but
was a good
I didn't realize that the second one was on there. But I did see a clip of Kris Jenner like eating an edible. That
Oh
is
my gosh. I
to a
watched that one
T.
yesterday.
That is to a T what my mom would do if she ever smoked weed or ate an edible. Like,
She went to they went to their house in like Palm Springs for the weekend, which goddamn, I wish I could have that house. And she's been having all this pain, so they stopped at the dispensary, her, Chloe, and Corey. She spent $760 at this dispensary. She just was getting all these things. She got lube,
oh
she got
my
sleeping gummies, like all these things.
God, I definitely need to watch it. That's what I'm gonna do after we're done
She was
recording.
like, doesn't it sound like a good time to like take it, put this on, like take this lube, get high, and then like have sex? And I was like, that's so weird to think about.
That's hilarious. Well,
It's a good
I think that's all for pop culture. So tell us what you've been up to.
Well, I started my new job and I'm very excited about it. And I work from home now, and that's so weird. I definitely have noticed that like I don't snack as much now that I work from home. I probably would if I had stuff in my house. Like if I had chocolate, 1000% I'd go get the chocolate. But I feel like it's helping my like eating habits so much more because I'm way less stressed. So that's been nice. It is weird. I don't get much fresh air. So I'm like, I really need to work on like a routine for myself now that I'm at home because like I have a lot of really heavy meetings in the morning. So I work for a company, it's called Plan Radar, and they're based out of Vienna, and they are in 65 countries already, and they just expanded to the Americas is what they call it, which I think is like so fancy and I want to do that now. It actually sounds so douchey, really. But that includes the US, Brazil, Mexico, and now apparently Canada. And so I'm the operations manager for the Americas, and I oversee the operations managers in Brazil and Mexico. So I have a ton of like meetings in the mornings, like really early, because Vienna is 8 hours ahead of us. And that's where I'm getting all my training. And then like my afternoons just like stop. And I feel like my head is like spinning of like, oh, I just sat here for 4 hours. Now I'm supposed to go eat lunch, but also like my head's like wanting to do all these other things, but also I need to get up and move. And it's not like the same thing when you're in the office. Like in the office, I'm like constantly like, I don't know, people talking to me, people interrupting me, having to get up and move. And at home, I'm literally just like sitting here for 4 hours, like, and then I'm like, oh, I should probably eat. I should probably pee. So that's really weird, but I'm gonna figure out a routine because like the other day it was raining and I like opened my window and I just like sat and smelled the rain forever. And while he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I haven't smelled the outside since 7 a.m. Like I need fresh air. So I just sat there forever, like smelling the air because I was like, God damn, like, so I don't know. I need to figure that out, but I feel so much better. And I like, I'm excited to like get some distance from my old job because I feel like I have so much to say about like business and work environments and all these different things. But I came from a very, very, very toxic work environment, and I had to tiptoe consistently around what I would say about work because I didn't know who would be listening. And also, if they were listening, again, toxic work culture, those motherfuckers would try and like ruin my life. So I feel very excited to be out of that. I have so much peace, I have so much more energy. I'm like so happy.
I can tell.
Can you?
Yeah, I
That's
can.
exciting. That makes me happy. But yeah, so that's the work front. I feel a lot better after taking our break. Going on a trip was nice. North Carolina was really, really cool. And like where we went was like this really old town that I didn't realize like was a thing. So I think that was really exciting. And then I'm really starting to get excited for Christmas. Like I'm wanting to skip Thanksgiving and just start Christmas. But like I'm
No,
going on a trip for Thanksgiving, so I'm like excited because that's like really fucking soon if you
I
think about
know
it.
it's in 2 weeks.
But I just don't like Thanksgiving, but I'm like getting excited to like
This year's gonna be
Christmas
so
shop.
fun.
I'm like, I don't know, I just want to Christmas shop and I want to like get in the Christmas spirit. I love Christmas so much. So
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. Make sure you're sitting down.
I am.
This is gonna shock you
You're excited for Christmas.
a little, but Tony and I are decorating for Christmas tomorrow night. That's like our date night on November
So
11th.
soon.
And
Why so
November
soon?
11th. Because we're going to be out of town for Thanksgiving. We're going to visit Lois in LA for Thanksgiving. And our weeks are just so crazy leading up to that. And I usually like keep my Halloween up until Thanksgiving, and then I'll do it like Thanksgiving weekend. I'll switch everything, but we're just too busy and we'll be out of town. And like, I was just like, this is a free Friday. Like, let's just get it done. And he's like, really? Really? Like, he was so excited. And I was like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? But I
I
am
think
actually a little bit excited.
I think I'm gonna do my next weekend. So like that's not too far off from when I was gonna do it because I don't want to come back from Thanksgiving and have to deal with it. And I already took down all my Halloween. My house is like empty AF right now. But it's just I have a lot of Christmas and I just moved all of my shit from my old office into my office at home. And so my home office now is so fucking packed, and like I'm used to it being very empty. I've
Mm.
like really enjoyed that part of moving, is like my walls are empty, my like spaces are pretty empty. And so like I'm planning to put a Christmas tree in here, and like where the fuck is it gonna fit? Like I plan to have two trees, and I'm gonna have to move my desk temporarily or something, because the tree has to go in front of this window. That's like the whole fucking point of this house.
Well, I definitely am just gonna have one tree, but
You should have one downstairs and
that's
upstairs.
what Tony said. And I just, since I didn't decorate last year, I don't even know what my decoration situation looks like. So I may have to buy a bunch of new stuff. So
I
maybe
do
there
feel
will be a
like
second tree. Who knows?
I feel like you're onto something. Maybe I need to get mine out sooner, because the sooner I get mine out, the sooner I can see what I have, and then I can shop for what I need, because I always
Exactly.
like I'm at the point where I don't really buy more Christmas, because at that point I'm just buying Christmas presents.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I've also started Christmas shopping, so that's exciting. I usually save that till very last minute. So, I'm really trying to change my little Christmas tune.
I have bought a couple things already for Christmas. I think I'm going to keep it very simple this year for Christmas. I want to be very intentional in what my gift is to
Hmm.
people, but I don't want to like make it stress me out, and I don't want to go over the top. Like, I just want to find something that feels meaningful and get that for people.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
think before I like stress of like, what's the perfect gift?
Hmm.
And you know what? I don't give a fuck what the perfect gift is anymore.
Just be thankful you're getting a gift,
Yeah.
okay? um, is that all?
Hmm.
So, circling back around to the North Carolina trip, I am obsessed with North Carolina. I feel like it was the greatest trip, and I'm still so sad to be home. We had such a great hotel on the beach, and it literally, like, you walk downstairs and what, like 5 steps, you were on the
Let's
ocean?
clarify that we did not have the best hotel on the beach. Taylor and Tony and my sister and her husband had the best hotel on the beach. I was at the fucking family hotel down the fucking street, because that's where we were supposed to be staying, and I couldn't get out of my hotel. So
I mean, Crystal's room was a little bit sketch. If I got her room, I would not be saying the same
she
thing.
told me at the airport that she like submitted a bunch of complaints, and I was like, why didn't you just complain there so you could get a new room? And she's like, it was
Yeah.
just so much work at that point. And I was like, you had a fucking dead cockroach in your room. It smelled like fucking paint. You could have died like Aaron Carter.
For real, for real. This hotel was like, I think that some were like an extended stay and some were like people's condos and then some were like hotel rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And Crystal's hotel, Shelby's sister, her room was right down like a couple doors down from me, and my room was bomb. Like it was really great. And I go into Crystal's room and she's like, I have carpet in my hotel. And I was like, what do you mean you have carpet? And she's like, yeah, come look. It looks like Nana's house. So I go in there. Shelby and I go in there, and there's like this
Nana's house.
emerald green carpet that is filthy, and there's a dead cockroach like on its back with its legs up, and I was like, what the fuck is this room? And they like smelled like paint. It was awful. It was so awful.
It was
And she
so
found out
bad.
that like this grandma had just sold it to this company to like rent it out or something, but I was like, I would have not stayed there. So
No, absolutely
uh,
not. But it
yeah.
was a really cool hotel, and like I definitely monopolized off being at the beach with your guys' hotel. So like appreciate y'all for staying there, but I'm still really sad I didn't stay
I
there.
know. We'll have to just go back because it was truly, I don't know, it was so fun. So we spent a lot of time on the beach. There was jellyfish washed up all over the shore, which
Oh
was
yeah, I
so
already forgot
crazy.
about that.
Wally was saving them. He has such a tender soul. He was like, took off his own shoes and was like using his flip-flops to lift them and bring them back to the water. And it was crazy. I've never seen a jellyfish like in the wild, so that was insane.
They
And one
were
of,
insane.
huh?
They were so insane.
Yeah, and one of like the locals said she had lived there for I don't even know how long, and she's like, I have never seen this happen before. So that was a little concerning, but
Mhm.
whatever. Um, so after Shelby and Crystal and their families left, Tony and I had a day to ourselves. And I've always wanted to go to Myrtle Beach. It was an hour and a half away in South Carolina. So we went. And it's shithole, straight up. It looks like Hollywood with a beach. Like it is dirty. It is a tourist trap. It was insane. They have a four level gift shop named the Gay Dolphin.
4 levels?
4 levels.
Damn.
It was the most wild experience. But and then we just like drove around, we looked at houses around there, and we ate Chick-fil-A because Shelby got me addicted to freaking Chick-fil-A and ranch, like Chick-fil-A sauce and ranch mixed together.
You're welcome.
And so yeah, it was really, really fun though. And then we walked over to the pier at our regular beach and we had the best dinner ever and played pool all night in like a dive bar. So it was very fun. I highly recommend North Carolina. Oh, they also had this little mailbox on the beach with notebooks in it that you could write notes to the universe or to God. And I literally read every single letter in there and I was bawling. It was the most beautiful thing ever. And Henley and Aisley wrote little notes in there and said, "This is the best day ever. I never want to go home. I love this beach." And it
They're so cute.
just warmed my little heart. So, yes, big fan of North Carolina.
Also, to clarify, North Carolina, we went to Wilmington, North Carolina. It's like right on the water, and it's like, yeah, so like there's a lot of places in North Carolina. We're talking about Wilmington, where the beach is. Where's the beach?
Yes, so beautiful, so fun. Everyone was probably like, "Stop posting this picture of the beach on your Instagram story 5 million times a day." But
I don't care.
I got a complete soul reset and I feel so much better. So, I'm
Same.
also rereading the Harry Potter series, and I just have to say, it's really great. I forgot how great those books were. When we're in California for Thanksgiving, we're going to Universal Studios to go to Harry Potter Land. I'm a Ravenclaw. I have a whole outfit. I'm very excited.
Oh shit, I still need to order one.
Yeah, you do. If you haven't read Harry Potter in like 10 to 15 years, I highly recommend getting it on Audible. The narrator is amazing and it is just such a fun book. So I just have
We're watching them because I have never read the books and I don't think I ever will. Wally did start trying to read the books to Henley. She kind of is slowly trying to like Harry Potter a little bit for us, but she's a bit like me where if like you make it seem like you're obsessed with it, she's kind of like, no, I'm not doing it. So like,
Yeah.
for example, Wally loves Arby's and like he's obsessed with Arby's. I will just never allow us to eat there because he's just so annoying about how much he loves Arby's. So like
I love Arby's too, so Wally, I'll go to Arby's with you.
I mean, every now and then I'll go, but like she's kind of doing like what I do. And like she doesn't know I do that. I think it might just be like a personality trait of ours where we get annoyed when people are too obsessive with stuff. So we just like resist it. So she's trying to get into it. She's gonna wear a Hufflepuff shirt with me because she's also a Hufflepuff. And my niece Ashlyn, who's coming with us, is also a Hufflepuff. So like
And Tony's a Hufflepuff.
Oh yeah, the Hufflepuff gang is gonna be strong.
Yeah, me, Lois, and Wally are all Ravenclaws. So we're like going all out. We're buying wands, like we're doing the whole universal.
I'm not buying a wand.
I am buying a wand. Lois is buying a wand. And it's going to be great. And I just really love Harry Potter. And I feel like I'm just fangirling out about it again. And I don't know. I really love it. Really love it. Next in my life is I finally had a very good ketamine session yesterday. And I think I found
to hear about this.
Yeah, I think I found the key for me is I just get one injection instead of two. I feel like my first dose is always like super great, super beautiful, and then I get the second one and my brain is like, actually, I hate this feeling. I don't want this, and I'm already like in it and like I can't get out of it. So it like caused me some weird anxiety. But I did one injection yesterday and it was so great and so beautiful, and I finally like understand the reasoning behind ketamine, and I just feel so much lighter today. So I don't know.
So good.
Yeah, so it was very interesting. It was all about my sisters and me, and it was so interesting. I like saw our souls all throughout our life. And there was like this big knot in front of us, like a knot in like it was like a bunch of string, and it was just this giant knot, and like we were babies and we were working on like trying to untie that knot, and then like we grew up a little bit and we were working on untying that knot, and like I saw different like childhood memories, and then it got to like who we are today, and we finally untied the knot, and like everything kind of like the knot just kind of fell apart, and we felt like at peace. And then I got like that, like in my first session where I had like that gratitude and that love towards them. And I don't really know exactly what it means. I think it means that like we're finally working on the stuff that's been like holding us up, like keeping all that tension and that stress. And so it's going to start to feel better, is what I'm taking away from it, or maybe like a generational trauma thing. I'm not really sure, but it was just very beautiful. And I just feel so at peace today about everything. So,
I mean, I will say that like I would think that you guys have been the most mature in your relationship in this like today than I've ever seen you guys be. Like
mhm,
you guys are like all kind of like actually trying to process things maturely, it feels like,
mhm.
rather than like lashing out how sisters can.
Yeah,
So I feel like that would make a lot of sense. Like you guys do seem like a lot more peaceful to me.
yeah, yeah.
Shout out to the sisters. I do not have that on my end with my sisters right now.
Yeah, it was very beautiful. And like, I cry in every session and I don't even realize I'm doing it. I'll like come out of it and I'll move my eye mask and my eye mask will be like soaked. But this time, like, I kind of knew because I am so proud of the three of us for like breaking those things that we're breaking and working through the things that we're working through. So I don't know, it was just very beautiful. I also, yesterday was a very emotionally heavy day. I also got a new therapist. So in our last, I think it was either our last podcast or the podcast before, I was kind of debating it, because I didn't know how she would react to the ketamine. My last session with her, I didn't even get a chance to tell her about the ketamine because she was like literally berating me and was so rude to me. And so I was just like, I'm done with her. And so I met with a new therapist yesterday. It's a male, which I was kind of nervous about, but he is so great. He specializes in grief and trauma, and he does EMDR, which I've been really wanting to try. And it's in person, which I haven't been in person therapy since the end of 2019. And it was
Jesus
just,
Christ.
yeah, yeah.
Holy shit.
It was just a really,
What the
really
fuck?
great experience, and I'm very excited. I am starting weekly therapy again, which is kind of stressful to me, but I'm just gonna do them right after ketamine sessions and gonna work through a bunch of shit. And he's very educated. He has like very good perspectives about things. And he, even from like, because if you've never been to therapy, your first session's a little awkward because they're like, tell me about your life. And you're like word vomiting all of this trauma and all this stuff that you have going on. And he just connected a lot of things together already. And he's like, and at the end, he's like, you know what? I'm really excited for this. Like, I feel like we're going to work so well together. I feel like you're going to be feeling so much better. And I was like, this is exactly what I need. So I think it's going to be really great. And I'm very excited about my new therapy journey.
Um, I do think that's really great too. I'm excited for you to try something new and like I don't know. I've felt for a while that your therapist sucks dick. Um, but that's for you to figure out, you know, like she's just
Yeah.
always seemed so basic. Like I think she helped you and Tony a lot at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just started to notice it just like I think you not going as often too was like a telling sign of like I
Mm-hmm.
don't actually I'm not getting much out of this, so why would I go?
Exactly. That's exactly how
Um,
I was feeling with her.
but I want to come back to this. Did you know that Hot Topic, first of all, is still a thing?
Mm-hmm.
And also they have so much Harry Potter shit on
That's
their
where I
website.
ordered my whole Ravenclaw outfit was from Hot Topic.
Why the fuck didn't you phone a friend and tell me? I've been looking for shit. They have so much stuff.
I thought you already knew where you were ordering from. Yeah, Hot Topic is the shit, man. I love Hot Topic.
I forgot it was like a thing. They have way too many options. It's actually a bit stressful. And then I forgot to tell everyone I also went back to therapy finally
Oh
because my
yeah.
therapist didn't have time for me, that bitch. And I wasn't able to meet with her. And then she was going to pass me off to someone else because I was like in crisis mode of like, I really need to meet with someone now. And she texted me Monday. Was it Monday? What's today?
Tuesday.
Thursday?
It was Monday. It was
It was
Monday.
Tuesday. It was
Maybe
Monday morning.
Tuesday.
It was Monday
Nice.
morning. She texted me. She's like, I have an opening at 3:30. Do you want it? And I was like, having to balance a bunch of logistics in my head of like, can I make this appointment? And I was like, you're gonna figure it out. Just make the appointment. So I just like moved everything I could, checked my kid out of school early because I had to pick her up from school that day, all the things because I was like, I have to have therapy. So now I'm on her schedule regularly again. I'm booked through fucking November next year.
Nice.
And it was really, really nice to be back in therapy. If you guys aren't going, you have to start going. I like literally, it'll change your life.
Yeah, I seriously, like, I was so tired yesterday because ketamine's already emotionally exhausting, but therapy has always been like, it takes a lot of brain power for me and like a lot of energy. But I slept so good last night, like the best I've slept in a long time. And I think it's just because I'm like kind of just at peace with all of this stuff. And I'm just very excited to like work through the grief that I've been needing to work through for 2 years. And every time I would try and bring up my dad's situation with my therapist, she was very basic, like very basic things. And it was just like, I should not still like I get that grieving is like there's no right way to grieve, but I think I should not be in this stage of grieving that I'm in. So I'm just very excited to like I don't know, fix my shit, you know?
I think it's going to be exciting and like I think that that's part of like thank you guys for giving us the space we needed to take this break on our podcast because we were both I think at like a boiling point
Yeah.
where we're processing so much personally and then also in our regular lives trying to survive and then also trying to balance a podcast which like it we say it all the time like we love it so much but it's so much damn work that
Mhm.
like you wouldn't expect and we've figured out ways to make it easier but having the mental space to be able to come and talk to everyone as if we're like able to like be happy when we're not happy personally like it was a lot so like the break was needed going and getting the help that we needed from our therapist is like so freaking refreshing and I think that I don't know it's just crazy.
Yeah, it is. And I will be straight up. I was a fucking disaster before we took our break and like going to the beach that helped reset a lot of things for me and like yesterday helped reset a lot of things. So that break was definitely needed. So we do appreciate it
Can
very
we
much.
just talk for a second about how when we were at the beach and we were supposed to be at a bachelorette party but didn't get to go, that you and I just sat outside of the hotel by ourselves and got fucked up on alcohol
We so
and
we
laughed so much.
we got there or like we started drinking champagne in the morning, getting stuff ready for the wedding, and then it was just like we had to keep a steady buzz all day so we didn't get tired. And then bachelorette party got canceled and we were like, well, what the fuck are we gonna do now? We have all this wine. So we
But
literally
wait, we
sat.
tried to go out, you guys. We were like,
Yeah.
fuck it, we're going out on our own. And we started looking at like the places to go and we were like, let's just stay here. Like
And
we
mind
are
you,
so
Tony was
boring.
gonna drive us and everything. Like we had all the logistics figured out. And then we
We got makeup on, we
went,
put
mm-hmm.
pants on, like we were ready to go. And then we like thought about it and we were just like, I don't fucking want to. Like we are those boring ass old people that
And
don't
we
want
were
to go
like,
to the
let's just
bar.
go sit at the beach and drink all this Chardonnay. And then we almost snuck in and crashed a wedding. And like, Shelby climbed up on the freaking changing table in the bathroom. Like, it was a whole situation, but it was so freaking fun.
Yeah, we had a good time. I think things like that really helped us though too, you know, like we haven't been able to like hang out and do dumb shit like that in so long. Like
Yeah.
that video you took of me and Tony doing the hocus pocus walk, like I forgot that even happened until you posted that picture.
And we saw the biggest shooting star I've ever seen. And we both got so stressed out, we couldn't even make a wish.
Okay, that's so true, but also like the fact that you could see all these planets was blowing my fucking mind. Like I
Yeah.
have never seen planets that like real that many at the same time. It was wild. Being at the
It
beach
was.
at night was so weird
It
and
was
great.
so, but it was so beautiful. The shooting star we saw literally was like from the middle of the sky and it shot all the way down into the water in the ocean. And it was so big. And we both were like, holy shit, make a wish. But then we were like, what do we wish for? Like, that was, that has to
You
be
were like, did you see how big that is?
yeah, it was pretty insane. So,
But yes, things like that, like, I don't know, man. Mental health is a huge thing. And I think that when life starts to beat you up, you got to figure out where you can find space. And
mhm.
like we said when we took a break, like, I don't want the podcast to be the first thing to go, but I mean, I can't be like, sorry, family, can't take care of you. Like, the podcast is like one that I can easily let go and give myself time and space. So,
Mhm.
yeah, hopefully we're
So,
back better than ever, baby.
yeah. So speaking of mental health, that is kind of what our topic is today. We're gonna do the asking for a friend a little bit earlier because that's kind of how we got the idea for the topic. It's actually something that we wanted to talk about for a while and we just never have. We've had it on our list for a while.
And
Um,
also, we had multiple people ask the same question. So, like,
mhm.
that was also pretty telling to us of like, oh, damn, we got to talk about this.
Yeah. So I know that we're not the only ones that are struggling. The other pop culture thing that we were going to talk about that I wanted to save until right now was Selena Gomez came out with a documentary. If you have not watched it, it's very, very good. And it is all about mental health. And I think it's just so important that people, well, especially celebrities, are putting such a delicate topic out there for people to criticize and talk about, and just knowing that like even if this helps one person, I'm going to talk about this. And her documentary was so great, like
So heartbreaking and so great.
and just like how much she was struggling, even though like it looks like she's living this beautiful grand life, like she was struggling. And it's just, I don't know, mental health is very important. So our asking for a friend was, what are some tips you guys have to help with seasonal depression and the time change?
First of all, the time change is fucking with me more than my whole entire family.
Me too.
I like can barely keep my eyes open. Like right now, it would technically be 8:45 and like I'm already at the point where I'm like, I'm gonna fucking fall asleep. Like
Mhm.
I'm not adjusting, but it's also because I wake up so early and like my family's still like sleeping in and stuff. Henley's been a little bit off too, but like for the most part, fine. But like time change, sleep wise, really gets me for a while. And when I don't sleep well, that's like a whole thing. But the time change and it being dark makes me scared. Like
Mhm.
it doesn't necessarily like make me like go into a depression immediately, but I like the eeriness and the darkness makes me so stressed out. And then like when I'm going to get Henley, like suddenly the normal time when I go get her, it's suddenly dark and I'm like, holy shit, what time is it? Did I forget my kid? Like I go through all these
Mhm.
weird anxieties because the like it's dark outside in the morning and at night. And like it's more of like an anxiety thing. And like I get scared because it's so eerie and cold and
Mhm.
creepy, and the time, that's like the only thing the time change really does to me.
Yeah, I hate the time change. I am also struggling with it. I hate that like I wake up and it's dark and I come home and it's dark. Like that is just like a lot for
Weird.
my mind to process.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would be a good place to start with this question slash topic to know, to even know what seasonal depression is. So my good old trusty psychologytoday.com, my favorite website, is where I got the definition. And it says that seasonal depression is a form of depression that can start in the fall and go until spring or summer. This can be caused by a lack of sunlight, causing you to feel sad, have low energy, loss of appetite, and a change in sleep habits. Seasonal depression can affect a huge percentage of the population, so you are not alone in these feelings.
I think what's crazy to me is like I've always hated the fucking winter. Like I always would say like I'm a bitch in the winter. Um I don't notice it fully until after Christmas. The holidays always push me through, and then once it's January,
Mm-hmm.
February and March, I didn't realize how much of a grump I was, and it was just like I love the sun. I thrive off of the sun. It's everything that makes me happy besides wine and champagne. And it just didn't hit me until probably a few years ago when I started going to LA in January, February. And then I suddenly started to realize a shift in my mental state and like happiness. And that's when I was like, holy shit, like I didn't even know I was struggling from this, and I had been for who knows how long. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that that's what's weird to me is like identifying when it kicks in and like what it actually does to you. And I think that's what some like people talk about. It's one of those like buzzwords, but like, do you actually know what if it's happening to you, and do you actually know when it's happening to you?
100%. It is like a term that a lot of people kind of just throw around of like, oh, I just had seasonal depression. Like, it actually is a very serious thing, and I guarantee that almost everybody in the state of Utah does have some form of a seasonal depression because it does get so cold here and for so long. Like, we are in the winter months for so long compared to the summer, and it's like the winter bleeds into the spring and it bleeds into the fall. So we have such a short percentage of time that it isn't cold and dark early. So guaranteed pretty much everybody has some form of this, and it is important to realize how and when it is affecting you.
I think that what was I talking about the other day on my stories or something? Oh, like I was talking about like identifying why you do certain things. Like I was talking about like all the bullshit I'm dealing with and like saying something about like, do you know why you do this? And that's one of the things that my therapist and I talk about a lot of like, once you can identify like those trigger points or the why, or like I'm saying, like I realized after Christmas, that's when it's like, well, there's no fucking point of living at this point. Like all the fun shit's gone. And then we just have to wait till the sun comes out. Like identifying that is going to be your first move of like, when does this happen to me? And is it even happening to you? Or are there other things happening to you and you're using this as an excuse because you're covering up something else? Like, are you like this all the time and you're just using this as like an example because everyone's talking about it? Like, those are huge things for people to identify and process and figure out like when, why, and like how it's happening to you.
I totally agree. So, sorry, I'm getting a really bad headache from my computer. Um, Things that can help you with seasonal depression. I think that the biggest thing to do is find a routine that works for you and stick with it. So, no matter what your routine is, whatever works for you, just being consistent in that will really help you through these months.
Routines are like literally the key to everything. If you guys
It's
have
true.
not picked up on that yet.
It's true. The next thing is, which we say, I think, every single episode, but move your body. Exercise helps any form of depression. If you have any sort of depression, anxiety, I am living proof. Exercise helps that. It releases that chemical, what is it? Endorphins? Endorphins. Because happy people don't kill their husbands, they just don't. Legally Blonde. Endorphins make you happy. It releases the endorphins and it seriously helps. It's not a cure all by any means for depression, but it definitely helps. And I know that getting yourself to working out is like the biggest part of the battle, but once you do it, it helps. So just move your body. Next thing is meditation, and I have a lot to say about this. First of all, I know that meditation is not for everybody. And second of all, meditation does not have to be sitting there like listening to a guided meditation or whatever. There's so many different types of meditation, and I'm going to start sharing them more because meditation is so important. You can do a walking meditation, you can do a cleaning meditation, you can do a candle meditation. I think that's on our podcast page, our Instagram page. There's so many different forms of meditation you can do, and really getting to that point in your brain, to that part of your brain that you can begin to talk yourself down if you're feeling stressed out, like if you have anxiety, or if you can use meditation to get yourself to see the happy things in life. There's so many things that you can do with meditation that everybody should be doing some form of a meditation, and that can help with seasonal depression so much.
You know, I don't feel like I have like a real process for meditation, or like I think what's hard for me is like I think there's things that I do that are probably considered meditation, but I don't count them as it because it's not like an official meditation. But
Mm-hmm.
I even sometimes think that just like doing little like manifesting moments and like moments of gratitude to me are like meditation vibes. Is that
Mm-hmm. That is a
right?
form of meditation. Yeah.
Okay.
And I definitely am going to share more things about meditation and like how to meditate and different types of meditation, because really all meditation is being alone with your thoughts. So being quiet. If scrubbing the counter can be doing the dishes. A lot of people do like meditations while they're doing the dishes because you're just alone, you're doing something, you're focusing on your thoughts, you're focusing on breathing. Like that's a meditation. It doesn't have to be this whole routine of you have a meditation room and you're sitting there and you put on music, blah, blah, blah. Like that's great if that's what you prefer, but there's so many different ways to do meditation. So I'm definitely going to be sharing more about that. But that is such a big, big key in depression, and that can help so much. So the next thing is spend as much time as you can outside. I know that there was another podcast episode. I can't remember what one right now, but I shared about how Tony like goes and stands on the porch outside every morning. And the more I got thinking about that, I was like, actually, that's really like a good idea and a good thing to do, because you're getting like that light on you first thing in the morning and you're outside, you're getting fresh air, you're doing a great grounding moment. So that's great for your root chakra. Like being outside and spending as much time as you can outside is so good for you. And even if like you're bundling up in a coat and going on a quick walk, like that would be so good for you. Your body gets very uncomfortable being cold, but being cold is actually really good for your mind and like the cells in your body. If you just research like cold therapy, it's really good for your body. So moving past that uncomfortable feeling and just like letting yourself be cold, letting yourself be outside for a minute really will help improve your mood.
And if you're Khloe Kardashian, she believes that being cold makes it so you don't age.
I could definitely see that. I could definitely see
She just
that.
said that on the episode. She told her mom, like, you just need to stay cold. And the producers were like, what is that about? And she's like, I just believe that you don't age as fast if you're cold. Like, when you lose a finger, you put it on ice to keep it alive. And I was like, interesting logic.
It's true. That's true. But like cold therapy, like what we did in Mexico, like dunking into the cold water, like
Mhm.
it literally kind of resets your body and it resets your nervous system. It helps like cell growth. So there could actually be something to that. But
Yeah.
people just get so uncomfortable being cold that they want to be out of the cold so fast. But it's actually, I don't know, try it. If you try it, let us know, because it definitely is something that I'm trying to do, to just like stand on my porch a few minutes every morning and just like embrace that light, embrace that cold. Um, the next thing is, this does require a doctor visit, but I swear by this, get your vitamin levels checked. Being low in vitamin D is so like working in medical, I see this a lot. And finally, one day I asked the doctor, I was like, why is everyone's vitamin D so low, like in the winter? And it's just because we're not getting any sunlight. Your vitamin D is what gives you energy. It makes you happy. It helps your immune system. So, really, just make a quick appointment with your primary care doctor, get your blood drawn, see what your vitamin levels are, and get dosing for supplementation with that. It literally changes your life. My vitamin shots that I get, truly, I don't know what I would do without them. My vitamin D was very, very, very low, like bordering critically low. So it's just very important to get those levels checked and just kind of see where you're at and how you can supplement that. Um, Next thing is reach out for help if you need it, whether it's your friends, through a therapist, your family, somebody you trust. If you're not okay, if you're really struggling, reach out to somebody, see if they have resources, see if they can help you, like whatever it may be. mental health is becoming so much more recognized, but there's so, like, we can go so much further with it. And the more you talk about mental health, the less stigmatized it will be. So really just reach out to somebody, even if it's Shelby and I, send us a quick message on Instagram, be like, hey, I'm really struggling. Like, now that I work in the mental health field, I have a lot of resources I can point you towards. I can help find therapy. I can help a lot because I'm in that field, and I, have a lot of connections in there. So truly, if you're struggling, reach out to somebody and let them help you.
I think that that's what's like, so it's like part of one of our topics we want to talk about with like social media and like posting. I post a lot of like things on my social media when I'm going through something. Like I have no problem doing that. And like for some reason that feels comfortable to me. I think it's important that people feel more comfortable to have those conversations. Like for me, it's easier to just be like, I'm just putting it out here because everyone fucking can know. I don't even care. But it gives me like a sense of like release. And I think that's the point of like asking for help or reaching out or letting people know. And it's not even that I need help necessarily. It's like that's therapeutic to me alone. Just being like, yeah, I'm going through some fucking shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
let me live. And
Mm-hmm.
like that releases like this weird weight that I have. And like maybe you can try that if you feel comfortable in your social media space. If not, you can even just send us a DM and be like, you guys, I feel like fucking shit lately. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes all it takes is you saying that, typing it, whatever it is that you do. It's just insane. Like you should just try it in whatever avenue you can. If it's a group chat that you have with your friends, if it's a social media thing, if it's like your spouse, whatever. But like the act of just typing it and submitting it is so freeing. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah. I actually had a situation with one of our ketamine patients on Monday, and she called me into the room, and she had just finished like her first session, and I needed to give her her second dose, and she was just like bawling. And I was like, "Are you okay?" Like, and she just like word vomited her whole life, like her whole situation that was happening right now. And it was so heartbreaking. And I literally, like, the situation was so intense that she was going through. There was nothing I was trained to say. So I literally just sat there. I held her hand and I just let her talk, and I let her cry. I would hand her tissues. Like, that was it. And then she, like, got done, and I have to ask, certain questions. And I was like, "Are you feeling suicidal? Do I need to bring in a therapist?" And she looked at me in my face and she said, "Can I just give you a hug?" And I was like, "Of course." And so I gave her a hug, and then she's like, "Thank you. I just needed to get that out there." She's like, "I'm fine now. I feel a lot better." And that was that. And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Well, I do just have to let, like, the provider know why I've been in here for the past half hour." And she was like, "Okay, that's fine, but I truly feel so much better. Like, I just had to say it out loud. Like, this was what my reality of my life is right now, and that's it." So maybe that's something that you need, is just somebody that you can be like, "Yo, this is what's going on in my life." And you'll just feel like that weight is lifted off, that you just kind of have put it out there. So
Well,
who
and I think
knows?
that like people, we're also scared to like admit that we're not okay. We're so scared to admit that like we're struggling, and we're so scared of the judgment and whatever we're going to be met with, that we keep it all bottled inside. And we've just been trained our whole lives to just keep it inside. And the more you're vocalizing it, the weirder you are and the like bigger shit show you are. And I think the more you can start communicating and just saying it however you want and being comfortable with the fact that like there's people that are going to receive that and be like, oh my god, me too,
Mm-hmm.
or how can I be there for you, or anything, like you're going to slowly start to realize that like you don't care anymore. You don't feel that weird pressure, and you don't feel the sadness that you were feeling because you had nowhere, like you have this platform and all these spaces where everyone's just posting all this great stuff, but like guess what, that's not life, like that's
Yeah.
fake. Like
Yeah.
the more reality you can bring to your life, the quicker you're going to be able to deal with it.
And I think it's totally like our generation thing, because we were talking, you and I, about like Jaden and his friends, and like how open they are about how they're feeling and how much they care about each other. And like that was not the way that we grew up. Like our generation grew up of like, you kind of hide your feelings, and you kind of fake
And then
it.
you talk shit about them to other
Mhm.
people when someone else did open up. Like, not talk shit, but you'd be like, oh my God, so and so told
Guess
me
what's
this.
going?
And it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah, so I definitely think it's like our generation thing that we're having to like fix all of that, all of our past stuff of like we can't talk about this. Like if we're struggling, we're not supposed to say anything because like they're going to talk about me or they're going to think I'm stupid
I
or
can't trust them.
yeah, yeah. So I definitely think it's getting better, but definitely if you are struggling, reach out to somebody, no matter who it is. Just reach out, say what you need to say, and then make a game plan from there. Maybe you just needed to say it out loud. Maybe you needed to cry. Maybe you need to see a therapist. Maybe you need to call the suicide hotline. Like, whatever it may be, there are so many resources out there to help you. So that kind of leads into the next one of make plans with friends. I feel like Shelby and I hang out a lot, and maybe that's not normal. Like, I don't know. But I feel like we make a lot of plans, and I feel like when we don't have plans, I get really sad and really bored and like, oh, I need to see friends. So if this is a struggle for you to hang out with friends, I just challenge you to just try it. Just try making plans with somebody, see how you feel, see how your mood feels after. It doesn't have to be something giant, like just go to dinner, go to somebody's house, make dinner, like I don't know, just make plans with friends. I think that that's very important for depression.
And I mean, I think that like your depression will mess with you a little bit where you're kind of like, I want to do this, but I also am so tired. Or I don't have the energy. Like you'll go through those different conversations in your head and like they're all true. Literally every one of them are true. The point is like you have to force yourself to not play into the laziness part of it of like it's easier to sit at home and not deal with it because that's going to put your depression further back.
Mm-hmm.
I literally just went through this like she's a podcast listener. Her name's Ashley. She's my friend, and we made plans. And then our days like kind of got crazy, and we were both kind of like, "All right, cool, we'll just make plans another time." And then we were texting about it, and then like suddenly we were just like, "Fuck it, like let's just hang out." And all I did is go to her house. We had some wine, and like we didn't really do anything, but like it brought us both so much joy and like you just need those things, you know, like you
Mm-hmm.
the more you don't do them, the more that you're going to just sit in your sadness and you're going to like be like, dang, I wish I had friends. And that's kind of what I told myself of like, you keep saying like you don't have anyone to hang out with, like go fucking hang out. Like I know you're tired, I know you're like you had a crazy day and it got away from you, but like just go do it. Like what, like why not? And like it was so fun. So I think that it's like your depression and whatever you're going through is always going to tell you like we don't have the energy, let's not do it, let's just reschedule, don't reach out to anyone. And like that's just like that's fake. Don't listen to it. It's gonna just make it worse.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Um, the next one is learn a new hobby. The winter months are a great time to learn a new hobby of like that you can do inside. So real quick story. I feel like I'm talking so much, but I used to absolutely despise cooking. And I was trying to remember like when it was. I think it was 2020, like when we were in like the heavy isolation, like you couldn't leave your house, nothing was open. And I was like, what else am I going to do with my time besides watch Tiger King on Netflix? Like, I'm going to finally learn how to cook. And I really like put it all in and I learned how to cook and I actually really enjoy it now. And if I didn't just like take the time that I had of not doing outdoor things, like not going to the lake, not seeing people, like whatever it was, I really just took that time and I discovered something that I actually really enjoy doing. So yeah, the winter months are a great time because there's not as much going on, minus like the holiday season, but like January, February, March time, that's a great time to learn a new hobby, learn a new skill, kind of explore that part of you a little bit more. And then the last couple things are gratitude. We talk about gratitude a lot, but focusing on your gratitude daily, every other day, once a week, whatever works for you, really helps you see the good in life rather than focusing so much on the negative. And if you're able to plan a vacation, I know that that's not feasible for everybody, but if you are able to, and if you just need to get away, plan a vacation. A lot of beach places the winter months are their off months, so they're slow, which makes it a lot better. You do have to worry about things like hurricane season and stuff, but if you plan it right, I think that it could be really great. And I really like going to LA in February. I really look forward to. And just having something to look forward to that's exciting and fun to me. I know everybody doesn't love to travel, but that really helps me. And the
Wait, before
last,
you go, I think it's important to recognize too that like it might not be the best beach weather. Like it's not going to be so warm and you're going to spend your whole time in the ocean. Like every time I go to the beach in the off season, it's cold. I don't actually really care to get in the beach. I love being at the beach and I still am in a swimming suit and I'm still getting sun on me. Like it's still sunny and it's still warm enough and it's still really, really enjoyable and you'll still have a great time. I think people really are like, well, it's not like the water's not going to be warm. Well, my kids still go in the water. I still end up in the water sometimes. And like, it's not that bad for like, I don't know. It's really like the weather and the water are totally fine. Like, don't let that take that experience away from you. And it, like Taylor was saying, it is the off months and it's a lot cheaper to go in those months too.
yeah, and just not as busy. Like going in the summer anywhere is so crazy because everybody's going in the summer. Like I highly enjoy off-season vacations, even though I have to deal with like annoyances like weather or whatever. I enjoy it so much more because there's just not as many people around. So,
For sure.
and the last one is something that I thought was very interesting, but I looked at a lot of different websites and this was on every single one. Light therapy. So they're like these little box lights. They're not very big. They're just like little squares and you just kind of set them by you and you sit in that light for like 15 to 20 minutes a day.
Hmm.
So I'm definitely going to buy one of these on Amazon and try it just to like report back how it is. And I'll include a link in the show notes for the one I decide to get. Um, but yeah, there must be something to that because a lot of different websites talked about light therapy. So who knows?
I actually had an employee a couple years ago that she has really bad seasonal depression, and her therapist had her get one for her office cubicle, and it just was like on next to her. I only saw it a couple times, but she swears that it like changes her mood, changes everything. And so I think that like I've heard enough people talking about it. I've just never actually tried it myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely am going to order one and I'm going to try it. I will report back and let you guys know how it goes, but very, very interested in it.
Nice. I don't have anything else to add to that. I mean, like I said, like I didn't even fully realize I was like dealing with seasonal depression. Like I knew I didn't like winter. I do always plan a trip. I always make sure I'm more active in the winter months. I usually take that time to reset as much as I can because the summer really takes my life over, and so does like school, like getting back into school with like the kids and stuff. And so the more I can like build and prep, that's kind of what I have chosen to like frame my mind around of like what can I always plan my trip to California, and B, like, oh, the bug's back.
Every time.
I thought I got rid of them. I
I
bought this
just saw
fucking
it. It
thing.
was big.
Yeah, I just bought these thing like this big like light thing to go on at my house at night because like they were so bad. I don't know
Ugh.
what's happening. Um, I don't remember what I was saying, but basically do things that you can do to make yourself a better version of yourself once you're out of that stage. Like use it as your prep time and it will keep you very focused, and like get out of the house, go get brunch, like fucking need a mimosa on Sunday, call me, I will come. I love going and getting mimosas in the winter.
Me too. And it's time for pomegranates in
Dude,
champagne.
Wally just cut open a pomegranate before I was doing this, and he was like, "Do you want some?" And I was like, "I don't fucking have champagne. Like, what are you talking about? I'm just eating pomegranate seeds." I was so pissed. It's like, don't open those when I don't have champagne.
Gosh, that just really set in that like it's time for pomegranate and champagne season.
I'm
Very
also
stoked.
like really, really wanting like a wine and cheese like vibe, and I keep being like, I'm just gonna plan a wine and cheese night again. Like, I have to do it. I don't even care if no one comes this time. I want wine. I want champagne. I want cheese. I want the meat. Like, why are we not doing these things? I don't
Well,
understand.
guys, that would be a great thing to make plans with people. It will be a group setting. And so if you feel scared to like hang out, that would be a great thing to come to and to hang out.
If you get the invite. Just kidding. I'm not inviting anyone anymore. I'm pissed at everyone for not coming.
Yeah, but I think that's our episode. So we're very excited to be back. We have a lot of fun things in the works. And please make sure that you are liking, subscribing. Cannot wait to get my Starbucks cup like that gold one. Very excited.
I'm the best friend for getting you this, by the way.
Yeah, for real. Anyway,
I
sorry.
have a best friend named Melanie that got me it.
Very distracted about the gold cup. Like, subscribe, rate, review, share with a friend, follow us on Instagram, all of the things. And yeah, have a great week. We will see you next week.
Also, these are really good gifts. Bye.